I'm very excited to welcome on stage Grammy Award nominated, his work with Beyonce, Kylie, Shakira, Whitney Houston. He has had over 5 top 20 hits in the UK charts. Put your hands together for James Wiltshire from the Freemasons!
Hello guys. I was saying earlier, I actually feel like Steve Jobs from Apple at the moment, and we should actually be talking about a new iPod with free ice cream. Okay, what I want to go through with you this evening, in this wonderful place. Have you all been through to the exhibition as well so far? It's incredible. Go and have a look. Some of the technology as well they've got out there is brilliant. I've got to bring my dad up to see all the 50s and 60s bits. What I'm going to take you through is a lot of the programs that we actually use, some of the techniques that we use, and I know a lot of people have always asked us about how we go about remixes, where we get the vocals from, how they arrive, etc., etc., etc. One of the biggest pieces of technology to come through, probably from the 90s, was the idea of time stretching. Does everyone understand the principles of time stretching? Yay! It basically means, I wish I could do this to my day actually, but it allows you to alter the timing information without changing the pitch. Now, a lot of you have seen DJs, and a lot of you probably DJ as well, and you've got pitch controllers down the side of the decks that will either slow a record up or, slow a record down or speed it up. But obviously what changes there is the pitch as well. And the first thing I'm going to show you is this bit of software by Propeller Heads. A lot of you will probably know of Reason, the sort of self-contained software studio, basically. This is their new version, and I'm showing you this because their version of time stretching is the best that I've ever seen. I've never actually come across anything like it. It's brand new. It's only come out in the last couple of months, but it really does urinate on anything else from a very high level. Let me just show you roughly what I've got here. Well, what I've got set up in here is just a little drum machine. It's just doing this. You can see that here. Nice and simple, just running through. Now, what I've done, just to show you.
You've been cheating while I'm sleeping and telling me lies. You've been chasing every girl inside. You've been cheating and telling me lies. You've been messing around, it's over now.
So that's one of our acapellas. When you're actually starting a remix project, the first thing you need to get sorted out is the tempo, the speed that you're going to be working at. Now, if we now know the original tempo, as I showed you before, of the vocals that you're working with, you can fit them into something like this and start playing around. This program constantly has its time stretch algorithm turned on. Now, rather than me waffle on about it anymore, I'm actually going to show you what it does. This here is a little tempo track, and I've set it to slow down and speed up dramatically there with that particular curve. Normally when you would do this, the audio would just start playing back, the drums might change tempo, but everything else would go to pop. But listen what you can do now.
You've been cheating while I'm sleeping and telling me lies. You've been chasing every girl inside. You've been cheating.
See the tempo moving at the bottom? Bit crazy, but that was actually impossible about a year ago. You could do it with other programs, but certainly not at this quality. We got hold of a beta copy of this, and when we did the Whitney Houston remix just recently, we tested it against every other kind of time stretching, and nothing sounds like this. It's absolutely incredible.
After all is said and done, I know you're still the one.
Now, I thought earlier on I thought that was quite good, but there's another thing that we've done quite a lot that I thought I just wanted to show you. If I just turn the automation on here, what I've done is copied exactly that and put it down here. You have to be very careful with this because you can set the levels up, and I'm going to show you what it does just by itself. Once again with the EQ on, so you can see what's happening. There's just a peak in the EQ, sweeping up there, and it's only going to happen in that one section. So if I now play the whole thing back, one more thing that we added was just a little bit of reverb on the big snare, so you can hear just that. If we add them all together and turn the solo off, that would help. So it just shows you, even when you finish mixing a track, it's a great way of actually adding some extra effects and bringing more dynamics into what you've done.
Hi there. When you take drum sounds, if you're building a drum track to go underneath as backing for your acapellas and stuff, the sounds that you use, are they already compressed, or do you take very natural sounding drums and compress them yourselves? Because I'm a bit of a purist myself, and I like to compress them myself, and I sometimes think if I just took samples that already compressed, I'd have a fantastic drum sound in 5 minutes, but I'd prefer to take a couple of hours myself.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's something...
How do you do it?
Well, what we've done just recently, because it's the first time we've had some actual time to do it, is we sat there and for 2 days we made just drum sounds. Now, first thing is you have to have a good pair of speakers to do this, and also reference on headphones and things like that, but it is definitely worth making your own bank of drum sounds initially yourself, because that's then your sound. No one else is going to have those sounds, and although you might take source things from sample CDs or from any of the modules, but it also puts you in a different mindset, because when you're working and you sometimes want to work quickly, you don't want to sit there and fiddle with drum sounds for 2 hours. You actually want to get going and get the track going. So making a bank of drum sounds and putting them on whatever sampler or whatever system you have is a brilliant idea.
Fabulous.
Hello. Is there somewhere you turn to for all your effects, like, you know, all those kind of like analog synth effects?
We were actually naughty for about a year in that we used the same ones, because we just were so busy. We'd actually made them all. We sat there with some of the best one for making just noise effects is the ES1 that's in here, and then just pile loads of stupid things on. And if you're working within a tempo base, so say most of your stuff, say like 126 to 128, pick a tempo in that, create all of these sounds, and then turn them into Apple loops, which is what we did, and then got lazy and just used them every time.